Welcome to another stock market update. Today is October 22nd, 2017. Well, the market didn't, change too much other than keep on going higher and making new high. So let's take a quick look. I'm still in a little bit of a cautionary stance because as the market continue to move up, it just create a little bit more cautious, be a little bit more caution for a little quick pullback. Again, I sound like a broken record, but the market internal, the one that I watch, has not deteriorated yet, and they have not been showing any sign that the market have topped. There could be a little bit of a pullback as we've been watching for in the last few weeks. So maybe this week it will give us a little bit of a pullback, because I think the pullback, I know you probably hear from a lot of the talking head also that the pullback might be a little bit healthy, because I think what we really need to see the market do is pull back and sucker a lot of those money on the sideline waiting for a dip so that they could get in. And I think that might help the market to get a little bit of a blowout, and maybe once and for all we might get a little bit more of a substantial correction, and then see what will come about. But right now I think the market is going to be chopping around. If it's going to pull back, it's going to be very minute and probably will be very brief. So so if you're going to short, be ready to just short on a quick type of trading, but not like shorting on a swing. I don't think you're going to be able to tolerate that when it snaps back, because I think recently most of my losing position, if not all of it, is basically it's a short related position. Okay, so I'm not saying I'm the best trader in the world, but that kind of give you a little indication that short has not been working for me lately. So I don't know, if keep on, it's just like, keep on doing the same thing over and over again and try to expect a different outcome. It's just, a little bit ludicrous. So anyway, let's take a look at the market quickly. The Dow Jones Industrial, again, you see it's a new high. Hit that 1618. If we take a look at this, basically, this little bit of a flag move, or this extension here, this major move here. We're basically looking for 100% extension. It's a symmetry move, but also it kind of extended to 1618, and that's typical. That could that is not abnormal. It happens. Okay, and you can see that it exceeded this 2618 on this particular retracement here. Not only exceeded 100%, but actually went to additional 61.8%. And right now you could even see that it gone up further. It might be close to 200% if I put this on there. But anyway, we are still basically looking for possibly maybe pull back and fill this gap and maybe get back to this 22 907 area here, this 100% here, and maybe test that and get a little bit of a bounce. But anyway, your guess is as good as mine right now, because it's in a new high territory. It's not just on new high, it's on all-time high territory, so that's kind of difficult to figure out where it's going to go. So all you only could do is use some of these Fibonacci retracement, a trend line, and that sort of thing, just kind of get some idea of what level to look for potential resistance. And here's the Dow Jones Transportation. A lot of people was basically looking at this engulfing candle reversal, but you can see, look at this right here, got some of the short trap right here, and then just gapped up on Friday. So I wouldn't be surprised that it's going to come up and make another new high and tell us that the Dow Jones is going to make another new high. So that's basically what I want to be keeping an eye out for. If it's going to pull back, I think the level that I'd be looking at would be this 9,742-ish. Okay, so just keep an eye on that. And here's the S&P 500. Again, just like the Dow Jones, made a new high last week. and if it pull back, maybe fill this gap and then come down to this 1618 extension here. So, but you can see that there is still a little bit more room on these major move using the Fibonacci extensions and that sort of thing. Got a 1618 here on this particular flag move or this symmetry move. There's moved to 2585. I'm still looking for 2600 really, and so basically that's what I'm really looking at this, and that's probably get the evening news. I was excited too on the headline, so that might sucker in the Main Street guys in and get some bag holder in here. So maybe that might do it. I don't know. So anyway, here's the Nasdaq 100. Nasdaq 100 seems to be a little bit weak because the the FANG stock. We're gonna take a look at those. Did not really participate that much or that strongly in a move, in a recent move back up. So you can see that the Nasdaq 100 is kind of lagging a little bit, but it's still got a little bounce here, so I wouldn't be surprised that we'll see eventually maybe chop around over here and then push it up, chop around right here and then push it back up to this 618 over 6,186 area. Okay, so that would be the 200 extension, 200%. Basically this symmetry move here, this 100% extension. Okay. And the Russell 2000, a lot of people looking at this thing over pullback here, this 1618. Right, so but you can see that this could be a little bit of a bull flag building here, and if you take an extension here, using this as the flagpole, that could be a heck of a move. So, but I won't do that because I think that's gonna be a little bit more wishful thinking. So, but I'll be looking at this right here, 1554. So that wouldn't be too too high of an expectation. Based on those Fibonacci extension. And then here's the New York Stock Exchange Composite. So you can see that the large cap and the blue chip is actually moving the market, while the tech sector dominated the Nasdaq 100. It seems to be a little bit weak. Right. So if we take a look at the spider, the ETF for the S&P 500, you can see a lot of level here that could be potential support. But I'm looking at the 259.29, that's the 2618 extension. Okay, but if it come back, we basically could look at these level down here, maybe down at this 254.91, 255. Okay, and I believe, let me see what I have in terms of open interest possibility for next week on the SPY here. Let me see, could I get that open up? Hold on. Okay, on the Wednesday open interest pin possibility is 254 and 255. Okay, so we're basically looking at this possibility down here at this level. Right, and somewhere around this level here. So basically this zone here. Okay, those are the pins. So if it does come in and pin that that level, then we'll probably see a little bit of a pullback. Okay, but there's also a possibility of sitting at 257. So it could be just chopping around here and put it at 257, and that's basically where it pinned last Friday. Okay. And then so for this coming Friday, we're essentially looking at possibility of 252. I don't know about that. 252.50. Okay, so essentially that would be down here somewhere. 250.50 here. Okay, so but there's actually a little bit more reasonable pin at 255. So again, it will be basically still be chopping around in this area here. So we'll see what kind of a pullback. Right? You see this look like a hangman here, but unfortunately the buyer step in. So it's not really a bearish hangman. It's a bullish hangman. So I don't know. So wouldn't be surprised to see a little bit pullback here and then just kind of chop around. Alright, so we'll see how it play out next week. So that's the SPY there, and if we look at the Q, okay, also the Q is a little weak. It did come up to this 618, but at the 200% is 150. So again, we can see a little bit of a pullback, to this level here down at the 147, 146 area, right? And then we might see a little bit of a pushback up. So then the IWM, as we've seen from the Russell 2000, you can see that this seems like it's breaking out of this bull flag here, right? Okay. So so we'll see how this thing gonna run, and 154 here essentially. Okay, but there was a Fibonacci extension or a bigger range just up at this 151, so we'll kind of keep an eye on that. Okay, so let's take a look at the FANG stocks. Start with Facebook. You can see Facebook, we were talking about, getting above this pivot here. If we get above this pivot, then we'll be looking at a new high, testing on the previous high. So you can see that, right? It kind of gapped up on Wednesday, and then we got a little bit of sell-off on Thursday, but you see that buyers step in and trap these short here. Okay, so right now it's been kind of testing this high here, and maybe we chop a little bit here and then come back up. Because earning is coming up, I believe, in 2 weeks. Not this coming week, maybe I think it's the following week, so we kind of keep an eye on that. So wouldn't be surprised to see it maybe come back down, pull back in a little bit more, and then set it up for an earning move. Right, so that's one possibility. And same thing with Apple, right? We talk about Apple, coming to this zone, then we're basically looking for this thing to come up to this 159.99, somewhere around this 160 area. So you can see that came to the zone and break to here. So once it went to that, kind of take out some of these resistance, came up and moved to that 160. Now it's and then the news came out, I guess, on Thursday, talking about the cutback on the iPhone 8 production for 2018, and I guess that kind of pushes it down. But again, you see that buyers step in and supported this this level here, right? So now you got some short trap over here, and this thing is trying to move to, but again, on Friday is option expiration. There's always some funny game going on. So I thought it was gonna actually pin at 157.50 until near the close. I think they half an hour or so, or hour away before the close, they start moving it down. So I guess a lot of people bailed out on those 157.50 options. So anyway, so we're basically looking for a little bit more chop here, between this 155, maybe test this zone again, and then and then come back up. Do believe that it's going to try to take out this this level here. Okay, but if it come down and break through the zone, then try to look at this area here. Okay, and look at this this trend line here. That might be a possibility. Okay, because I think a lot of people might be looking at that trend line, because that's basically is the little bit of a channel that I have here. Okay, okay, all right. So I hope somebody is looking at those trend lines. So anyway, Amazon. Amazon's showing a little bit of weakness. Remember we were talking about that. To get above this zone, we are looking for this thing to come up and fill this gap. Well, we try, right? And it's kind of found some seller here. So now we got some long being trapped here, and then also when it come down here, found support here at 978.80 near this area. And so we'll see, there's some short being trapped over here too. So would it come down and bail these guys out, or just snap back up here and maybe come to the zone again, and some of these anxious long want to get out might dump after it get above that 1020, and then move to and fill this gap. So again, pay attention to earning. I believe this coming Thursday, actually after the close, will be earning. Amazon will report earnings, so just kind of be careful for this week. And we have Netflix. So Netflix, you can see that it kind of topped out here near this 127 at 204, right, and pull back. So right now it's kind of testing this 191.50, right? So it's try to basically try to snap back here. We'll see what it come down and actually retest this zone here. Okay, so maybe we see it come down to I got this this swing here. You can see that this 618 right now it didn't even come to this 50% yet. So what I want to see is maybe come down to the 618 and then bounce back up. That would be once you get that, then we'll start looking for maybe some long position, so, and also it's basically sitting right near this this trend line. Okay. And finally, Google is also reporting after the close this Thursday, so kind of be careful. See it made an all-time high and then kind of pull back and kind of sitting in this zone here because there's a lot of buying and selling here, so it's kind of balancing to this area, this 110 and 102, 103 area. So kind of keep an eye on that. And these are the level that's still maintained to be a possible support on the way down. Okay. So, and looking on the way up, again, we just apply the Fibonacci extension, and you can see that these 127 at 1030, okay, 141 at 1042, and 1618 is 1060, which is also in confluence with this big swing here on this 127. Okay, so it's so kind of keep an eye on those level. I mean, those are the only thing that we have to go on right now when things are at a new all-time high, on new territory that doesn't have previous price to give us any sort of indication where there might be some seller or buyers. Okay, so those are the FANG stock. Let's take a quick look at some of the stock that I mentioned earlier throughout the week or two. Qualcomm, you can see that the Qualcomm, after we went through this zone, it just kind of pulled back. So I hope if you took the got a long position on there, you did put some protective stop here that kind of got your profit, take your profit when it come back to the zone here. Okay, right now we're basically looking at this thing stabilizing at the zone, and if we could get stabilized here, then we're basically looking for a move up. Then we might be looking at trade location again. Okay, because then we'll basically see that on this swing here, it came to and kind of dipped below this 618. Okay, so what I'd like to see is that maybe it come up and on the 50%, maybe chop around a little bit, and then once it moves through that 50, then might be looking for some sort of trade location on there to play back up. Not sure is that earning coming up or it's already reported earning. So anyway, just be careful, it's earning season. Make sure to check the earning date before you initiate any sort of position. And here's Tesla. All right, Tesla, we're looking for this thing to maybe come to the zone here and run it up, maybe possibly get up to test the recent high. But you can see that I guess there's some analysts kind of downgraded and gave a very low price target below 200. So we'll see how this thing play out, because right now it's coming to this zone here and also getting close to this 618. Okay, there's a 618 retracement here. So we'll see if they get a bounce here, and just kind of keep an eye on that. If it doesn't get a bounce and come to, then basically I will be looking at this area for potential support here. Okay, so also if you take a look at there could be a little bit of a trend line here as well, right? So you might want to see maybe get a little bounce off that trend line once you get down to that 1618 or close to it. Okay, and what else we got? We'll look at Qualcomm. Okay, and then let's take a look at the Salesforce.com. You can see that Salesforce.com is actually punched to a new high. Okay. Workday. Okay, Workday is still kind of hovering around between this zone here, so still looking for this thing to come up and make new high. Right. Getting support here. Okay, on this zone here. And auto home, okay, this is going to be chopped around here, be careful. Okay, so this might not turn out, so look for this thing. If it could break above this trend line, essentially this particular zone here, Right, then we'll probably watch price to come up to this zone, and then see how it react and see could it get, make its way to that particular zone there. Okay, so let's see Chipotle. Okay, again, still see it came up, right? We're looking at this, came up, come to here. We basically want to see could it break through this this pivot. If we could break through this pivot, then we're basically looking at this particular zone here. So right now it's kind of chopping around here, right? So kind of keep an eye on that. Chipotle is going to report earnings on Tuesday, so be careful, okay? Right. So you might want to hold off on putting on any kind of trade here, unless you plan to just play to earning. Right. And here's price line. Okay, price line. Right, kind of came to here, was into the gap fill, so got some bull being trapped, but it's still within the zone here. So if it could, get to this zone, we're still looking for this thing to come up to the next resistance zone. But the thing is, we want to see would it be able to hold this zone. If it's not, then the next zone that we're going to watch is this. But if it breaks this zone, then it's most likely going to come back down, and we test these prices down here. Okay, and note that there's a trend line on here as well. Okay, so let's see. We're going to look at Bank of America, right? Okay, so you can see Bank of America is, remember I was saying that I think the market is going to be driven by financial and energy. So you can see this thing is pushing too. Got a little bit of an earning pullback, right, last week. And same thing with Goldman Sachs. Okay, right, so Goldman Sachs haven't gone through this zone yet, but I wouldn't be surprised to see this this guy come to here and break through the zone and get into these level up here. So I'll be keeping an eye on that. So you see that this is basically a engulfing candle outside day, but what it turned up is it is a engulfing candle for inside coil here for a breakout of that inside coil. Right? So so keep an eye on that. And then what else? We also got the agriculture aquarium. Right, still chopping here, still okay. Mosaic, right? So I'll be keeping an eye on these things, right? And potash, right? Okay. So basically that is it for now. I do have some other stock that I'm watching, but you might want to keep an eye on some of the retailers, right? So like the Target, the Coach, the Ralph Lauren, those guys. So we got Under Armour. Under Armour made a little bit of a push last week. I guess it got a little bit of an upgrade, I think. So let me get Under Armour here. Okay. Right, you see this big push here. Okay. So if you got in here, I remember we were talking about this low. If you get in somewhere around here near the bottom here, basically set your stop near this low. So and that 2 cents, I think a few cents shy of the 2R. This is basically the 2R Western Reward line there. Okay, the high is 1761 and this thing is basically 1762. So basically 1 cent away from hitting that 2R. So if you're in this trade, right, set your stop, or take some profit out. At least protect the profit. Okay, so that's it for now, and good luck on your trading for the coming week. And if you find this video informative, please don't forget to click the thumbs up to give it a like. And if you're not a subscriber to my YouTube video channel, click the subscribe to subscribe to my channel. And thanks for watching.